Yo, what's good? What's good? I'm back. Triple P, Paul Pickett podcast. Before we get started, I'm gonna sip some of my orange juice early in the morning. Y'all hit that click now subscribe button. Don't forget the audio version of my podcast goes to Spotify, Apple, Deezer, Amazon, TuneIn, Slacker, iHeartRadio. Video version goes to Facebook, Instagram, TV, and my YouTube channel as well. Um, Last night, NBA Finals tied up 2-2, game four. I pretty much figured the Bucks will win because Chris Middleton was due for a big game. He had one. He put up 40. Giannis put up 26. I forgot what Middleton put up. Booker put up 40, but you only got 10 points and 5 turnovers from Chris Paul. I have to check the assist. DeAndre Ayton, it didn't have a too great of a game. The tides have changed to me. At first, I was like, yeah, the Suns got this because the Bucks couldn't figure out the pick and roll. Now the Bucks have figured out the pick and roll better. They've literally held Booker to a 10-point game and Chris Paul to a 10-point game, and the Suns have had one 40-point game for Booker. Well, the Bucks have put up two 40-piece wing dinners from Giannis, and Middleton put up a 40-piece wing dinner himself the other night. Drew Holiday's still due for a big game. Brook Lopez could be due for a big game. Bobby Portis has been a good pickup. PJ Tucker, he's been playing great defense. He ain't even really had no big games. Like, a lot of the Bucks are due for the big games. And I can't really say that for the Suns because they're not all like guys that put up big games, Maybe Bridges, maybe Crowder, maybe Cam Johnson, but I don't know that they're necessarily due for a big game. You know what I'm saying? But I think Drew Holiday is due for a big game, which I think he'll have next game. I got the Bucks win. Whoever wins next game wins this series, and I got the Bucks win the next game. The Suns in that interview, they looked a little concerned. The Bucks right now, they got to feel unstoppable because Giannis is unstoppable. They got the best player. Their second best player overall has had a better series than the Suns' second best series. Like right now, Booker would be the Finals MVP for the Suns, and Giannis for the Bucks. But Middleton has had a better series than Chris Paul. He's had a better series overall than Chris Paul. Even in the losses, Middleton, he had some decent. He did decent in the losses compared to what Chris Paul's done in the losses and what Booker's done in the loss. Booker had a 10-piece in the loss, and Chris Paul had a 10-piece in the loss. Middleton has put up well over 10 points every single game in this series. And Drew Holiday, if I'm not mistaken. So the Bucks' big three are actually outplaying the big three of the Suns right now. It's really all about the other guys. What are they going to do, I think the Bucks are going to win this, man. Giannis is a back-to-back MVP, probably the most dominant offensive guy in the game because, probably between him and Zion, the fact that they don't take a lot of jumpers, that means they just dominate, Like Kevin Durant is the most dominant, efficient jump shot shooter in the league, but Giannis and Zion are just, these guys don't even really shoot jumpers, and they're just putting up, 28-piece wing dinners every night. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I got the Bucks winning this series. Giannis Finals MVP, his first championship. Really solidifying his decision to stay at Milwaukee. Because, like I said, the way you build a championship team is you got to draft two of your top three players, and you got to trade for the other one. You got to draft two of the top three and trade for the other one. Phoenix has drafted two of their top three. They traded for the other one. They traded for that Chris Paul, who's they first and second. Most nights he's their first best player. Not so much in this series. Right now, Devin Booker is the best player in this series, I would say. And and then Chris Paul as far as the Suns go. But Giannis is the best player of this series altogether. And we didn't even, a lot of people didn't think Giannis would be coming back to game 3, And he literally came back game 1. The fact that he's back is what's scratching. Like a lot of people just they doing this, like scratching their heads. Like, was he supposed to be back already? You know. So yeah, I got Bucks winning it. Winning next game, winning the series. Giannis get Finals MVP, solidifying the move of re-signing, showing that how small market teams have to build championship teams. You can't expect to get no big free agent signings. It's not happening. Bucks didn't get one, and Chris Paul didn't get one. It was trades. They didn't sign directly with him as a free agent. You know what I'm saying? Because small market teams don't get big free agents. I want to get into this Stephen A. Smith thing. I'm going to kick back real quick, matter of fact. Stephen A. Smith came out and said there's this baseball player. I don't know his name, so it's like Showy something. And they're really saying he's like the next Babe Ruth. And I've seen like takes where he's actually better than Babe Ruth. Because like Babe Ruth was a dominant pitcher when he was with the Red Sox. Like his first 6 years, I think it was. He was with the Red Sox. He was a dominant pitcher. He only hit about 8 home runs per year around that time. Now, when he went to the Yankees, he only pitched 2 games. So he became a dominant hitter. So people say Babe Ruth is like the greatest because when he pitched, he was dominant, and when he hit, he was dominant. But he didn't do them simultaneously at the same time. When he was a dominant pitcher, he was just okay hitting the home runs. When he wasn't really pitching, he was a dominant hitter, and he was knocking them out the park, right? And that doesn't take away the fact that Babe Ruth could probably play any position on the floor, any position he wanted to, if he could just be a dominant pitcher and a dominant hitter like he was. But this guy, man, this new player, he's doing it with simultaneously. Like he's got like 80 strikeouts and 20-something home runs, which is amazing. Now, Stephen A. Smith made a comment basically saying that he can't be the face of the Major League Baseball because he needs a translator. Now, I do marketing and advertising for a living. And I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna say I agree with. Not that he can't be the. It's not that he can't be the face. It's just that he won't be. That's what Stephen A. Smith really meant to say. He won't be the face. It's not, people are they're getting upset because Stephen A. said he can't be the face. It's not that he can't be, it's that he won't be. And this is why. I promote a lot of musicians. And if anything I know about the music business, to be popular on the American music charts, typically it's only international artists that are usually like on the top 100 American music charts are the ones that actually live in America now. They actually moved here. Like Akon, the Drakes of the world. Like this idea that a lot of UK artists are going to dominate the American charts. That a lot of I promote a lot of African rappers. It's hard for them to get any kind of love in the American music market. It really is. American music fans don't show a lot of love to African musicians. They don't. I promoted African artists. I've seen them like post their videos on World Star and dudes be like, yo, take that stuff back to Africa. Like, what? And it'd be like black Americans saying this. It don't be white Americans. It'd be because World Stars is predominantly an urban website. Majority is most of World Star's fan base is Black Americans, and so I've seen them like, yo, take, we ain't trying to, take that back to Africa because the guy might have an accent, or something like that. If there's one thing I know about actors, British, I always say this to my friends, like, yo, these damn British actors, they're taking over. Why are they taking over? Not because they're doing all the big British movies, because they're doing all the big American box office movies. And what are they doing those movies with? American accents. That's why I'm so like British. That's why British actors have taken over, because they do American accents so well, and they do all these box office movies in British and American accents. Idris Elba, The Wire. I mean, he literally played a character out of Boston, with a Boston accent and whatnot. Like, he's from Britain. The guy that plays Snowfall, he's from Britain. American accent. He's playing a kid from South Central LA. And he's from Britain. Charlie Hunnam is from Britain. He played a California biker boy. California biker boy. I mean, like, a lot of these British actors, they have to do these American accents if they want to get in all these big American movies. They have to. If you think that their British accent is going to help them dominate the American market, not without doing English accents. All these English rappers, I mean, these English actors all do these American accents like that. And American actors can't necessarily do all the other accents. That's the problem. Like, probably the easiest accent to do that's overseas is like Irish. We made it top of the morning tea. All I want to be crack of gold. It's like the easiest accent for anybody to do. Irish, you know what I'm saying? And I see Irish dudes, Colin Farrell, from Ireland, doing English accent movies all day long. Never did a movie in an Irish accent that I can remember, you know? So, yes, Stephen A. Smith is right. You got to speak English, and very good fluent English. Like, Drake doesn't have a Canadian accent. Drake's father is from Memphis, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, and that's where he lives. So, and I guess he would go see his father a lot in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Degrassi is an American TV show. I'd have to look that up. But, like, yeah, Drake doesn't speak like he got an accent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the only dude I know with an accent that really popped in the American market super big was Akon. Akon. You know? And the auto tune might have helped take away some of the accent. But Stephen A. Smith is so right. Anderson Silva for MMA. He wasn't the most popular. He was the best. And that's the thing. Just because you're the best in the sport doesn't make you the most popular. Kevin Durant might be the best in the sport right now. Giannis might be the best in the sport right now. But I don't think they'll ever be the most popular. I don't know that Kevin Durant will ever be the face. I think once LeBron leaves, you might have multiple faces. You might not have the face of the NBA unless somebody's just completely dominating, like LeBron. And LeBron, we fail to realize that LeBron went to 8 straight NBA finals in the modern day basketball. Like, nobody's done that in modern day basketball. That was like done like when there was only like 8 teams in the league. Each team had 4 teams. You had 4 teams in the East and 4 teams in the West. So Stephen A. Smith is totally correct by this. He probably should have said that he can't be, which kind of people just take that as like, oh, you just, it's like you're trying to hold somebody back, or they can't, they get into that whole equality and equal opportunity mindset. The thing is he won't be. A Japanese baseball player won't be the face of the league. It's not saying that he won't be the best. Not saying that he won't be the best player in the league. He won't be the face. It's just not happening, man. This is an American market. Like, if it's not a, you know, like typically a white American or a black American, they're not going to embrace him like that. Luka Doncic might be the best player in the league in 2 or 3 years. He will never be the face. He will never be the face. It just won't, man. Because his accent, you know, it just won't never be the face. I'm sorry. It just, maybe in his country, he'll be the top dog. You know, he'll be the face of the league in his country, but not in America, man. You know, and even though America is very diverse, it's one of the most diverse countries. That's not how fan base works. You know, that's not how fan base works. You're gonna have, you know, about 200 million Japanese in this country in order for a Japanese baseball player to be the face of the league. You're gonna have about 200 million Slovenians in this country for them to be the face of this league. Because it's an American market, and Americans are always going to dominate the entertainment, especially, you know, they're going to dominate, especially sports. And maybe not so much acting, but look at even American music market. I mean, like, American charts are dominated by American musicians. You know, American sports are the most popular, are always going to typically, in the face of the leagues, are going to be American born athletes, you know. And Americans somewhat biased like that towards other countries? Possibly. You know, possibly. We as a whole could be biased towards other countries, even taking over the market. You know, like Drake being like Canadian and taking over the music market. Like I said, it's a lot different. He doesn't have an accent. You know, he speaks straight up English. His dad is from Tennessee or lived in Tennessee. I don't know if he was born and raised in Tennessee or what. I just know Drake's dad lives in Tennessee. You know, and you would have never known Drake was a Canadian unless people said he was, because he don't have no accent really when he talks. Nothing that like stands out like, oh, that's a Canadian accent. Nah. And I don't even know if Canadians really have accents, because they're like supposed to be French. Unless they're speaking French, I don't even know that they got accents. I don't even know Drake speaks French. You know, have no earthly idea. But I agree with Stephen A. Smith. I lost a little bit of respect for him for apologizing. You don't apologize when you're not wrong. You don't apologize when you're right, when you're spitting the truth. You're spitting facts, the reality of things. That's the reality of the American market, especially sports market. Look how great the Spurs were. Whenever was Tim Duncan from the islands, Manu Ginobili from Argentina, and Tony Parker from France ever the face of the league? When was the Spurs ever the face of the league? They never would have been. I'm thinking part of the reason that people didn't like the Spurs is because two of their big three was pretty much international guys. They didn't like. People got to understand, kids in the American market are growing up as fans of American athletes. They're not fans of kids from America aren't fans of athletes in Slovenia and Czechoslovakia. They don't know about these guys until they hit the league. And already by then, they already clinged on to somebody else as being their number one basketball player. They already look up to somebody else as their number one guy, Kobe, LeBron, or somebody like that. And that could change more as these international players like Luka come in. There could be a lot of kids that start looking up to Luka. But it still won't. It will still never be the face of the league. Not the face. unless he just completely dominates like LeBron. And I just don't see total domination going on anymore. The league is stacked. Trey Young, Zion, Ja Morant, you know, Devin Booker, Giannis, Kevin Durant, Dame Lillard, Steph Curry. I mean, every team has a legit. Every team got a legit Hall of Famer again now. Every team got legit Hall of Famers again, like in the '90s and the '80s, like late '80s and early '90s. It was like every team had a legit Hall of Famer, and it's like that again. Like most of the top 50 players of all time were literally still in the league in the '90s. They were literally still in the league, and I'm seeing that like now. Like a lot of these in the top 50, dudes are gonna be getting bumped out of the top 50 with these cats like Trey Young and Luka and Zion coming up putting 28 points a game they second years in the league. Dudes wasn't doing that in the 90s and the 80s. Not three dudes in matter of 2 or 3 years, they second year they're putting up 25 or more a game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how the jumps that Luka, Zion, and Trey Young have made from their first years to their second, And you got Ja Morant coming up right behind him, like you know, he's amazing. Giannis is total domination. If he had a jump shot, it'd be game over. Yeah, so I agree with Stephen A. Smith. I disagree with him for apologizing when he was just really speaking truth. It was nothing he said was racist whatsoever. I do marketing and advertising for a living, and it's hard for international artists. It's not easy for a German rapper to get love in America, especially when you rap it in German. Nobody understands it in America. And I hear people talking about, well, it's America that's not trying to learn other countries' languages. What? If I'm not ever going to Germany, why the hell do I got to learn German? I lived in Panama for 4 years, and guess what? I had to learn Spanish when I was there. But if I'm not going to live there, or if I'm not visiting there, why should I have to learn that language? I shouldn't have to learn a language of a place that I'm never possibly going to visit. And if I'm only visiting for a week, how much of the language do I really need to learn? Hello, thank you, goodbye. Just a handful of words. I lived in Panama for what? Maybe not 4 years, maybe 2 or 3 years. And yeah, we had to learn Spanish while we living in Panama. Well, you're not gonna go well. And can I still speak Spanish? No, because when I got back to the States, there was no use for it. There was nobody for me to speak Spanish to. I totally forgot it all. But yeah, if I'm going to live in a country, yeah, we gotta learn their language. But if I'm never gonna live there, this idea of because I hear plenty of people like, well, it's America. It's not trying to learn other language. Like it's yeah. If I was born in Japan, like I wanted to be, like my parents were stationed. My mom was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, where my grandfather was in the military. Yeah, I definitely would have to learn Japanese. But guess what? I wasn't born in Japan. I was supposed to be born in Panama. So regardless, I was supposed to have to learn Spanish because I ended up living in Panama later when my sister was born there, when my stepdad was stationed there. But this idea that just because we ain't learning, just because all Americans don't know Japanese, it's our fault we don't know Japanese, and that's why he'll never be big. He'll never be big in America. Never be the face of the league because it's our fault we don't know Japanese. No, stop it. My neighbor's Japanese. I don't even know how much Japanese she knows. So stop it. Once you living in America for so long, where the language of America is English, even though there's a lot of Latin people moving in, and they come here and they don't choose to learn any English. A lot of them, I know dudes been here for 20, 30 years, can't speak a lick. That from like El Salvador can't speak a lick of English. Do I get upset, mad at them because of it? No. I don't get totally mad over them, especially when I know they're a nice person and they speak a little bit of English and they understand a little bit enough for us to be friends and understand that he's a decent person and I'm a decent person, but I would think that, he would get by a lot better in America if he actually knew more English. Especially when you've been here for 20 years. I mean, I wouldn't be living in no other country for 20 years and not learn the language fluently. So Hispanics do it all the time. They come here, will live for 20 years and never learn a lick of English. So stop it with this. Just because Americans don't know Japanese, it's our fault. This cat ain't going to be the number one face of that. No, because you're in America and the number one language is English. So you have to learn English if you want to adapt to American culture and you want to be embraced by American culture. We can't embrace you. We don't understand you. We don't even know if you're a decent human being or not. We don't know what you're saying. Trust me, there's plenty of athletes that aren't decent human beings. There's plenty of athletes that have been, glorified and put on pedestals that are women abusers, child abusers, drug abusers. I mean, there's dudes in the Hall of Fame that did coke. So let's stop it. Like all athletes are model citizens and whatnot. So yeah, we don't even know if you're like a role model. How do we know if you're a role model citizen for the kids and we don't even understand you? And if we don't understand you, how can we truly embrace you? You know why I don't like LeBron James no more? I used to embrace him because I thought I understood him. Then his true colors showed out, and he's pushing his Marxist, communist mindset agendas. And now I'm like, yo, what the? I don't even know if this guy's a decent human being anymore. Because he thinks it's okay for cops to watch somebody stab somebody to death and do nothing about it. He thinks it's okay for a cop to watch. I'm just anybody watching, just watch your kid get stabbed to death by some other person, and he thinks the cop is supposed to not do nothing about it until after they stab and kill your kid. Like literally stand there, eat popcorn, throw some popcorn in your mouth, and watch the show. Like, oh, stabbed her once, oh, stabbed her twice, oh, okay, now she's dead. Freeze! Put your hands up. You're under arrest. No, I got nieces and nephews, and if somebody's about to stab them, and that cop's right there, he better shoot that motherfucker dead right there. If not, I will. Don't let me have my gun on me and you about to stab my niece and nephew in front of me. You're done. You're done. So YouTube can pull this video, whatever. You're done. If you threaten my niece and nephew, you try to stab them with a knife. You try to stab my mom with a knife. You try to stab me with a knife. I'm not going to sit there and just, no, I'm going to try to kill you because you're trying to kill me. When somebody's going to stab somebody with a knife, they have intentions to kill them. I don't care what you say, what your train of thought is, your views are politically. Once somebody's going to stab somebody with a knife, they're not going to stab them once. They're going to stab them twice. They're going to stab them 3 times over and over again. Their intentions are to kill them. But LeBron James thinks cops are supposed to just watch people kill people and then punish them totally after. No, if cops can prevent the crime from happening right there, that is part of their job. Crime prevention. Not just if we're living in a society where, okay, so we're just supposed to let everybody just kill people and let them do we're supposed to just let people do the crime, and then we can't punish them until they're done with the crime. Man, that's not decent human beings. That's not how decent human beings think. We're just going to let people just kill people. And we got to let them kill people. We can't do nothing about it until afterwards. And then afterwards, oh, you could, then we could just take them to court and maybe they get off. No, if somebody's about to kill somebody in front of another cop, the cop has every right. A regular, fuck it if they're a cop, a regular citizen has every right to shoot that person and stop them from killing somebody. A regular citizen has that right, as far as I'm concerned. We don't just stand around and watch people kill people. If that's the view we're gonna have in society, oh man, we some scumbags. But I don't view that. That's not the view I have in society, so I'm not a scumbag. But LeBron James is a complete scumbag. He's a complete scumbag because he thinks that cops should watch people kill people and not do nothing about it until after they're done killing them. We got to totally, even if it takes 30 minutes for them to kill it, we got to sit there and wait 30 minutes until you could do anything. That's what he's saying. So I got no respect for LeBron James whatsoever, you know. And yeah, man, Stephen A. Smith is right. I got no respect for Stephen A. Smith because you apologize for something that you write about. You're totally right on this. International players who can't speak English would never be the face of an American league. Americans won't embrace them enough. I see it every day. When I promote music, I'm promoting international artists, and they want to do all USA ads, and I'm telling them, dude, advertise in your country. German rappers tell me, I want all USA traffic. Well, guess what? They're not going to embrace your music because you're German. You're not American. Unless you totally speak American accent English. And most of these German rappers, they don't even rap it. They rap in German. They rap in German and they want English speaking people to embrace the music. Nobody's embracing music if they can't even hear the lyric. They don't even know what the lyrics are. They don't even know what the lyrics are. They can't even interpret your lyrics and you want them to embrace it. No, it doesn't work that way. And that's why British actors are doing American accents because they're not getting these roles playing American roles in American movies doing British accents. It's not happening. Ain't no musician dominating the American market that can't speak English. Same thing with an athlete. Stop it. It ain't got nothing to do with racism. It ain't got nothing to do with discrimination. It's got everything to do with interpretation. Interpretation. Understanding. If you can't interpret and understand what he's saying, it's kind of hard to embrace somebody that you can't understand and interpret. And if anybody can't understand that, then you lack common sense. You lack total common sense. This is a common sense thing, man. If I go to any Spanish place and, I don't, they're speaking Spanish, I can't interpret what they say. It's kind of hard to embrace the situation when I don't even know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's what. Who's who? Who's saying what's saying what is what? I don't know nothing. You know nothing. You going in blind and you want me to embrace something. I don't embrace things I ain't never heard or seen before. So yeah, man. Stephen A. Smith was right. He was wrong for apologizing because he was right. And people were wrong for trying to bring racism into it or anything trying to say it's anti-Semitic or anything of that nature. No, it's the facts, man. And I know y'all don't want to hear this, but facts over feelings, man. Facts don't care about your feelings. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie just to make somebody feel better. I'm not going to lie to make somebody feel better. If you're waiting for that, you get a double middle fingers. I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to change who I am as a human being, a decent human being. I'm not going to lie just to make somebody feel happy, just to appease their emotions. Never, ever. I don't even like lying, man, whatsoever. I only feel like you lie to the cops and that's it. And even then, if you do that, you get caught consequences. And we're not above the rules. We're not above the consequences. Remember that. So yeah, that's my take, man. I got Bucks winning series. Stephen A. Smith is a chump. He's handcuffed. He didn't want to lose that $12 million a year. He's a puppet on the strings. If you're gonna come out and say something that's true, that's factual, with your chest out, don't try to poke your chest back in. You know what I'm saying? Start going on an apologize tour, looking like a chump. Now you're looking like you don't even look like a man no more to me. You're not even a man. They're demasculating, Stephen A. Smith, basically taking away his masculinity. You know, you got to watch what you say. Whether it's true or not, you can't say nothing that's true if it's going to hurt somebody's feelings. That's the world we live in. You can't say anything that's true if it's going to hurt somebody's feelings, but I'm never going to go with that one. I'm never going to get with that program. I'm sorry. Facts are facts. The truth is the truth. There's plenty of things that are factual and truthful that I don't like. But you know what I do? If it's nothing that I can't control, that I can't change, that I can't affect, I get over it. I only stress over things that I have control over. Like fixing something in my business. If I got an issue with my business, it's my business. I have control over that. That's a solution I have to fix. But if it's a solution, me fixing another person's business problems, I don't got control over that. I don't got control over fixing another business problems. I got control over fixing. So I don't stress over anything that I know I can't control or dictate. Anyways, I just say it is what it is. And do what I wish it'd be different? Maybe yes. Maybe sometimes yeah. But unless I can change it, I can't do nothing about it until it does change. So things are what they are. America is what it is. And it's not just see people think just because America's the land of opportunity, y'all thinking it's the land of equal outcomes still. But like that's the thing. If you want to be big in the American entertainment market, you need to speak fluent English. Fluent English. Bruce Lee's. I don't remember Bruce Lee ever acting any movies in just Chinese. I could be wrong. But I don't remember Bruce Lee ever acted any movies in just Chinese. If I'm not mistaken, Bruce Lee acted all his movies in English, and you couldn't tell Bruce Lee had a very good American accent. Because I'm guessing if I go and look, Bruce Lee probably lived all his life in America. He probably lived the majority of his life in America. I could be wrong on that too. But Bruce Lee had a very good American accent. And I mean, Arnold got an accent, but Arnold, you ever see Arnold do any movies in Austrian? He did everything in English. Everything in English. I mean, and Arnold might have been the face of Hollywood for a short period of time, and he's got a somewhat of an accent. But we're talking about one dude here. We're talking about one guy, man. Like literally, this idea that like we're talking, and that's the thing. We're comparing Arnold and these other guys. These guys didn't need translators ever. So we're comparing guys who do their whole interview with a translator to guys who have been speaking fluent Bruce Lee, fluent English, Arnold Schwarzenegger, fluent English. If you're not speaking fluent English in this country, Akon as a musician, fluent English, Drake, fluent English, and that's only two international guys that I can remember that were on top of the American market music business. And all the British actors that are really dominating right now in acting, they all are only dominating because They do American accents in big American box office movies. They're not doing the big office box office American movies in British accents, and they pop. They're doing them in American accents. And not saying British movies don't pop in America. Like, but only like usually the action packed. Only movies internationally that like movies that are internationally made that usually pop in America are just the ones that are super action packed. Super action packed. Like the Takens, which I don't even know if that was technically an international movie at first, or if that was American box office movie. I really don't know. It could have been an international movie, but the action is what did it. And then you have Liam Neeson, who does a lot of American movies. I don't even know if Liam Neeson's American because you never know nowadays with these actors. There's just so many of them. They're from like Australia and England and all these other countries, but all these international guys get big by doing the American box office movies with the American accents. So we gotta stop it thinking that a guy that needs a translator is supposed to be the face of anything in America. Stop it. No American would be the face of Japan if he needed a translator. No American would be the face of Japan if he needed a translator. I don't care how great he was. They would still embrace the Japanese over him. Because it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, man. It's too much to have to go through, to be honest with you. As an American fan, I got to learn Japanese to understand you. No, you want to be big in America, then you need to learn the American language, English, And until our language changes to Latin, which it could eventually when, like there's more Hispanics than English speaking people, they could evolve to that. But until then, we speak English, and if you want us to embrace you, then you need to speak English. If not, we can't totally embrace you because we can't understand you. We can't interpret. You need an interpreter to interpret. Still doesn't mean we totally understand you when we embrace you. So Stephen A. Smith was right. He was wrong for apologizing. People that throw racial or anti-Semitic saying he was that, they're wrong, man. He's just spewing the facts of American culture and marketing in American culture, branding in American culture. If you want to be at the top in the face of an American culture, then you got to speak fluent English, brothers and sisters. You got to speak fluent English, you know. No German rapper is going to dominate the American market. No, no Spanish rapper is going to dominate the American market. He's not going to be the top dog in the American market. I've never seen a Spanish artist have. I could be wrong, but I never seen a Spanish artist be number one on American charts ever. Once again, hit that click now, subscribe button. Don't forget, tune in Paul Pickett podcast 2-3 times a week, sometimes 4. This is episode 34. What we do NFL and NBA talk. I haven't really been doing no NFL lately. Nothing really to talk about, except the Aaron Rodgers stuff. And how much can I really say about that? I done said it over and over and over again, until he decides what he's going to do. Then we go from there. But yeah, right now we're just covering the NBA finals and try to punch in any hot topics. We did the Maria Taylor versus Rachel Nichols, Gwen Berry, Kari Richardson, And now there's Stephen A. Smith. ESPN is just like at a dumpster fire right now, and whatnot, of the things that's going on over there. It's like you can't say anything factual without losing your job, you know, because somebody might, they might get upset about facts. But it is what it is. Don't forget the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Deezer, Amazon, Slacker, TuneIn, iHeartRadio. Video version podcast goes to Instagram TV, Facebook, fan pages, and my YouTube. Also, you can Google Paul Pickett Podcast. Please check out my websites for online marketing promotions, promopalace.biz, newletter.com for New Letter Apparel. Let me stand up, show you the shirts. New Letter Apparel, all you dog lovers. We got the pit bull. We got the pit bull on this one. For all you pit lovers. I know everybody be thinking pit bulls are always these mean dogs, and people are meaner than pits. Stop it. People are meaner than pits. It's people who make pits mean, basically. Also, check out the Dizzle brand, dizzlebrand.com. It's a new liquor brought to you by Mike Dizzle and my guy Chris Roker and his other business partner. And check that out, dizzlebrand.com. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They also got recipes that you can check out that you can make different mixed drinks with the Dizzle brand. And Dizzle brand, look for that coming to a ABC store or a club or a bar near you. And also check out planetplaylist.com. You can submit the playlist for free for artists. And that's about it. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This is episode 34, NBA Finals Game 4. Bucks just tied it up 2-2. I got Bucks winning it in 6. I got Bucks in 6. Net winning next 2 games. And Giannis winning Finals MVP for his first championship. Peace, and I'm out.